Peace and love to you, folk, man. So the other day, yo, I had made a post. Um, Remember who the fuck you are, you know, and some people, may not understand, understand what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if you have gone through some shit in life, yo, you have more than likely developed, defense mechanisms within your mind and within yourself because you was constantly being surrounded around toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so because you may have been, in an environment to where you feel like you was constantly being backed up in the fucking corner. You know, absolutely, your feelings and emotions are valid for doing that. But now, let's say you have your own place now, and you're, meeting different people, but you always feel like you're backed up into a corner because of your environment. So it's like you just got out of on the military, right? You may have been deployed many a fucking times, yeah, and you were constantly getting your mind ready for war, for combat and shit. And then when you finally get back home, your mind is still set on war. Your mind never had chance to reset or to relax. You may have even went off on people um, who didn't even deserve it, possibly, depending on your experiences. I'm not by any means I'm not making any excuses to those types of situations. But if anything, I would think that people need to. I would like for people to understand why people that are like that are the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Make no mistake, yo. You have. I would think that there's a time and place for you to be kind and to also be a fucking warrior. I give you a fucking prime example, yo. I was at a restaurant chilling with my brothers and cousins, man, and they knew some people that was sitting beside us at the table next to us, yo, and everybody, in the back was joking, on the back porch, and back area, I mean, and this one guy has said something like mad ignorant, like something racist as hell to one of his friends, and even the friends of the guy who says something racist was like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yo, chill the fuck out." Like, I know those people, yo, but he kept on coming off at the mouth, and the one of the guys had told him like, "Yo, chill out with that shit. I understand everybody's here to joke and all that, but yo, like you need to relax, man." Dude kept coming out of his mouth. He was like, "Yo, you know what? Since you so bold and bad, let's settle this shit, outside." Dude continue to sit there and still run on. I'm not going nowhere. You ain't gonna do shit. He's like, "Yo, this ain't the fucking internet, homie. Let's settle this shit now." He was like, "You know what? No, I'll take that back. Since you're too much of a bitch to come out and meet me outside, I'll come to you." And I kid you not, that dude walked right around and boom. Some people deserve it. I don't wish that that happened, but you know what? Like, yo, if someone is like, "Yo, like you need to chill out, man," coming at my boy like that, yo, you might want to take heed, and then we'll call him, the racist guy. After a while, once he got knocked the fuck out, dude apologized, and even his friends apologized. So sometimes you do have to be, a warrior, but at the same time, just remember that you're not in the war zone anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's safe to be kind and to be genuine, you know. But that's all I wanted to say to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that I would think that it's to the point where a lot of us um, have grew up in an environment that it was not good for us. And because we grew up around that, we grew up, you know, having certain defense mechanisms. And then when we meet people who are genuine, and kind, we are still having that defensive like mindset. You know what I'm saying? That could be, the love of your life, but you wouldn't know that because you just drove them away because you are in that protective mindset. You feel me? So take the time to be by yourself and understand yourself and tell yourself like, yo, it's safe to be yourself, you know, regardless of where you at. It is safe for you to be a fucking warrior. It is safe to be genuine and kind. You just have to know, like I said, there's a time and place and when to do it and when not to. I'll tell you, I grew up around, with that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But after spending some, time with myself and changing, the narrative in my mind is saying it's safe, for me to be myself regardless of where I'm at, and safe to be kind and genuine and be a warrior. There's certain people, and that's including fucking family, I no longer fucking deal with. You know, so be kind to yourself, man. Don't ever forget that shit. I'll holler at y'all later, yo. Be easy out here, man. Take care of yourself, man.